Guys, you want to see something funny? You want to see something funny? Check this out. I've been seeing this everywhere. Everywhere, dude. The Brooklyn Nets fans have become obsessive. All right? They are... It is an obsession when it comes to getting Dylan Harper. They have lost their minds. I don't know if you guys been seeing this, but it's everywhere. And it's constantly Brooklyn Nets fans telling us what we're going to take for them to get Dylan Harper. I don't buy into it. I think the Spurs are going to listen to anything, obviously, right? If there's a killer deal, you're going to make it happen. But so far, I don't think it happens, guys. I don't think so, but Brooklyn Nets fans are on this. So you can see Nets potentially packaging picks to get Harper as their favorite point guard is something multiple organizations are keeping track of. This is actually true that there's a lot of teams asking, and Nets are top of the list, but Nets fans, there are Nets fans. Actually, yeah, there are some Nets fans, believe it or not. But these Nets fans have been losing their minds, okay? So one thing that's funny is one thing that I've seen, and unfortunately some Spurs fans feel like this as well, but I've seen quite a few Nets fans, and this is true, by the way. The Nets have nothing the Spurs want. I don't believe so either. But one thing I've been seeing is people think, like, well, the Spurs got plenty of guards, right? And they're coming off a Rookie of the Year with Castle. And there's an article I came across, and it's very controversial. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Actually, hold on. I don't think I saved it. Where is it? Is it... I think it was an article that called Steph Castle overhyped. Where are you? Okay, maybe I don't see it right off the bat for some reason. But from Air Alamo? Okay. Air Alamo. So you guys saw it too. Oh, here it is. Oh, I didn't realize the headline's actually worse than I remember. Yeah. So wow. Okay. So this isn't the only. There's a lot of Spurs fans. It says Spurs fans aren't going to like this. There's a lot of Spurs fans that do agree that you need to trade somebody if you get Dylan Harper. So this article in particular is pretty harsh. It says Steph Castle was not a strong Rookie of the Year. Everything is contextualized, okay? Maybe in a few other drafts he's not Rookie of the Year, but the fact that out of all the rookies this season, he was the best, why disrespect him in this way? But it says, to put it another way, if Steph Castle had been a rookie last season, he likely would not have finished top 3 in Rookie of the Year voting. Okay, we had a better... Okay, I'm going to read some of this and then I'll give you my take, okay? I don't want to just... Okay. Would not have finished top 3 in Rookie of the Year voting this season. He won the award going away as no other rookie stepped up to the plate. Steph Castle is an immensely talented player. He is heady defender, a smart mover without the basketball, a willing scorer and playmaker. He played extremely well down the stretch of the season to lock up the Rookie of the Year award. He has also submitted one of the most damage. Okay, you're giving him all this praise. Let's get to the... Castle could turn into okay, or he could turn into Brogdon. That is a solid starter for many years. What is the... Okay, then what's the problem here? The Spurs should trade Stephon Castle. If this is the case, Castle's value may never be higher than it is right now. This is insane. I guess I should read this. Given how utterly broken his shot has looked, it's very possible Castle is not on a star trajectory. And then goes on to say, if this is true, there's a lot of things that could be true, y'all. There's a lot of things that could be true. Now, let me just tell you why I'm connecting these two, okay? Because there actually has been quite a few fans that have thought that we should trade away Castle and just get Dylan Harper if that's the case, because you can't possibly have these two guards on the team because it's just not going to make a lot of sense. But if you look around the NBA, there's a lot of depth. The most successful teams right now, just watch the playoffs right now, have a lot of depth. Not only do they have a lot of depth, they have quite a few players that can handle the basketball, right? So like it's kind of insane to insinuate that you have to have one over the other. Another thing I don't like about that is in this article in particular, it says that Steph Castle is great with the ball not in his hands. So why are we worried about his fit with Dylan? And also, Dylan Harper was one of the best players in college. We looked at the stats on this. He was one of the best players in college without the ball in his hands. Like, his percentages were quite high. So doesn't make sense. But anyways, if that's the case, his value might be higher right now. The shine of the Rookie of the Year may be elevating how other teams around the league view him, and he could be valuable centerpiece of a trade package for another star. This is so irritating, bro. This is so irritating. I don't know what everyone's obsession is with taking players that are doing well in the Spurs and thinking, first thought in your mind, we should trade them because their value is high right now. I don't understand that at all. There are certain players, right, that don't have a star trajectory, right? And like when the Spurs were tanking and, you know, Keldon Johnson was doing fairly well in the tank. Our team was awful, but his stats looked okay. That's where his value would have been the highest. And yeah, you could have traded him at that point. That's more understandable because we all should have understood that Keldon's limits are very apparent and he's not going to be a star player in the NBA. It is fine if a player like that is overvalued, right, at that point. I don't think that's the case with Castle. I think that whatever limit that we think that he can hit, he's going to hit it. I don't think that he's ever going to be a player that's overhyped, right? I felt the same thing with DJ, right? DJ, his stats looked good, but I kept saying this when we went live that I don't think he's as good as some people believe that he was. I would have arguments with people in the chat all the time about DeJounte. I'm like, I don't think he's as good as you guys think, right? He's a all-star reserve, and yeah, his ceiling is not what you think it might be. So yes, you should trade him. But I don't think that way with Steph. I think Stephon Castle is going to reach whatever ceiling we think that he could reach. And if he has that potential, why would you dilute the product and bring in another player to try to win now? I don't really understand it. You're not going to get of equal value. It seems like we love to just get players, build them up a little bit, and then just trade. Now it's time to trade. They're good. We can get something better. What's better? What's better? Anyways, let's move on. Roundly viewing, Okay. That would be true in a vacuum, but it's even more true given the Spurs draft situation, okay? They landed the number 2 pick in the 2025 NBA draft and are in line to draft People make mistakes, but there's autocorrect. You could have just typed this up, put it in ChatGPT, said, hey, correct my punctuation or anything I might have spelled wrong. I'm starting not to buy into what you're selling here. I know that this seems like a small mistake, which it is. You know, it's just, you know, it happens. But you're putting something as controversial out there as this. You should know or make sure that your points are poignant. Poignant? I think I said that right. See, I'm not even very poignant, I guess. But also, you need to make sure that everything is spelt correctly if you're going to put that out there. This makes me not take it serious. A rangy and versatile guard who is clearly a step above Castle as a prospect. Harper would have gone number 1 with a bullet in the 2024 NBA draft. Castle went 4th. Well, yeah, this isn't making any points, by the way. This is true, but it's not making any points. The Spurs will be hard-pressed to fit Harper, De'Aaron Fox, and Castle all into the same backcourt given the shooting limitations of all three, and trying to do so will likely only lower Castle's value. This is so ridiculous. Guys, we just got a player that was talented enough to be the Rookie of the Year, the best rookie that the NBA has seen that year. Put on a show in the All-Star break with an incredible dunk contest in which you got to see his creativity, where you got to see him being willing to put himself out there. You got to see some crazy athleticism from him, which he should have won, right? He didn't have a lot of antics, and he didn't have a chance to prepare to jump over cars, whatever. But like, you put somebody like that in front of us, and you see how talented he is, and we're talking about how, well, we need to get rid of him because the fit might not be there. Why do we care so much about fit? Number one, it's wrong. The fit is going to be perfect. Number two, it's like, well, they can't shoot, so we're screwed. Harper's shooting percentage isn't the worst, okay? And especially off ball, catch and shoot, he's pretty doggone good. Fox, sure, make an argument for it. He's been very inconsistent throughout his career. Castle is a rookie! And not only is he a rookie, he has good shooting form, and we just got done, like, the other day looking at some footage, because this person would have seen it. There's footage out there of him shooting, and it looks good, like, really good. He looked much better. Yeah, so the idea that this could happen, so this could happen, so this could happen, so let's get on this early, you're just creating problems where there aren't none. I don't know, man. Your solution seems like it's the problem here. Rather than use the number 2 pick to try and land a star or moving on from Fox suddenly. What? Man, we just got Fox, guys. He didn't even get to play yet. The best way to maximize their assets is to include Castle in a trade offer. It's a painful reality, as Spurs fans seem to have embraced Castle, and he has the mentality the franchise love in his players, but none of that matters, right? Because I don't know what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, he also has an inability to score efficiently, and while that could improve, okay, it's not a given. What is a given? I'm sorry, who can you trade Castle for that would make it a given? I could take the best player in the NBA and tell you that it's not a given. You could trade Castle along with all your picks, all your future picks, and attempt to get Giannis, right? That is not a guarantee that you win a championship. It's not a given that you win a championship. And it's definitely not a given you become a dynasty like you want to. What's a given? Luka? Okay, Castle straight up for Luka. Okay, Luka is a given. Yeah, Luka is kind of a given. But Luka isn't a given if you have to give up everything. Because you're not just going to give up Castle. You have to give up Castle and your future. He's not a given anymore. Nothing's a given. It's just silly, bro. You don't have to trade Castle by getting Dylan Harper. That doesn't make any sense. Trade him now before the bloom falls off the rose could net them a true co-star for Wemby. Or, hey, here's something. Here's an idea. We can not do that and then still get a co-star to Wemby. I truly think this person doesn't even understand how good Dylan Harper is. If the Spurs draft Dylan Harper, which they absolutely should do, then their next step is finding the right trade package to build around Steph Castle. Wait, these right here is another auxiliary part of the Spurs. The Dejounte Murray trade has been final. Hold on, let me see something. Victor Wembanyama was really good really quickly. He entered the NBA as a top 50 player, was all-star worthy by the end of his rookie season, and as a sophomore was the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year and would have received a number of MVP votes. It is therefore understandable that the San Antonio Spurs felt they were justified to accelerate the timeline to push the gas. When you have a top 10 player in the league, you look to put pieces around him that are worthy of that status. Letting Wemby languish on a team deep in the lottery standings feels wrong on some level. That was the motivation, at least in part, behind the trade deadline trade for the former Kings point guard Fox. When he came available and showed interest in San Antonio as a destination, the Spurs went to work and traded for the former All-Star. The Spurs didn't exhaust their trade assets, not by any means, but they sent a significant number of them and committed a lot of money to bring in Fox. The Spurs gave up nothing. Oh, what'd you say, Impeccable? The player quality is a given, not the end result. That being said, you should be zero rush to trade Castle. Trying to see if you said something else, my boy. I might have missed anything else you said. Impeccable. Shout out to Impeccable, by the way. If you guys ever want to know, like, if you ever want a good take, find Impeccable in the chat. Impeccable, his takes are impeccable. I haven't talked to you in a while, by the way. We need to talk more. The Spurs blundered by trading for De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is a really good basketball player. He is an explosive scorer, a terror in the open court with the combination of speed and handle, and he makes for an exciting co-star next to Victor Wembanyama. Teams forced to stop Wembanyama from popping and Fox from driving will tie themselves into knots. Okay, so what's the problem? Yet there is one... what's the drawback? To committing to... Oh, goodness, what is it? To committing to Fox. And it has to do with a long line drawn onto the court. Fox is a mediocre three-point shooter. Okay, so this person is just absolutely obsessed with three-point shooting. The fact that he's basically saying that this was like an impatient blunder is crazy. Because I was hoping he was talking about the Kings and it was just a little bit of clickbait. He's actually saying that we were impatient when we got rid of nothing. Fox wanted to come to San Antonio. If you make the deal, you make it now. I said that before. If you're going to make the Fox deal, you make it now. Because he wanted to come to San Antonio. Everything was in our favor. We could finesse them, which we did. What else do? Do you just not take Fox? And guess what? Fox, you talking about trading. Fox is a valuable player that you could move in the future if it came down to it, but it won't. This is a top 5 point guard in the NBA. Talking about below average. Who cares? The trade only looks worse after Monday night. The Spurs were handed a gift in the NBA draft lottery, moving up to number 2 pick. They would have the opportunity to add another blue chip prospect to their young core, slotting him alongside Wembanyama, Castle, and Devin Vassell. The problem is that the consensus number 2 prospect in this class is Rutgers guard Dylan Harper. Okay, he's been on this. Woo! A lead guard with size who can do everything except shoot. This dude sees elite scorers and he's like, I don't want them on my team. And by the way, someone told me that I use elite too often. No, I don't. I think I use it think I use it in a healthy way. Dylan Harper is an elite scorer. I don't know what else to tell you. He is. He's going to be a multi-all-star like that. He's that type of player. He's an elite scorer. Sohan is an elite defender. Wemby is an elite everything. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't say like Vassell is an elite scorer, right? I'm gonna just throw it out there. Yet Harper would be a terrible fit next to Castle and Fox. His NBA game is yet to be determined. Perhaps he will find a way to thrive off the ball. Perhaps he will find a way to thrive off the ball. Jeez, bro. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Twitter's taking a minute. Why is Twitter taking a minute? It's like frozen. Yeah, I have no idea why it's frozen. Okay, we got it back. Yeah, just be patient. Give me a sec. I always got to go back, man. Perhaps he'll be good off the ball. Perhaps, guys. Maybe. Possibly. There's a small opportunity. There's a small chance that he'll be great off the ball. All right, here we go. 86th percentile on spot-up scoring, 43.2%. 91st percentile as a cutter, 1.5 points per possession. But perhaps, possibly, he might be good off ball. Maybe. Possibly he could thrive off the ball. Maybe. Possibly. Yet his special upside appears to be attached to having the ball in his hands. It appears to be attached. It appears to be attached. Okay, so you just looked at some highlights and you came to the conclusion that it appears to be attached to his ball handle. It appears that he needs the ball in his hands. Fox has likewise proven to have a limited impact without the ball. Well, this I low-key agree with. I think Fox does need the ball in his hands more so than a couple of other ones, but that's not necessarily a terrible thing. That's okay. Somebody needs to. Fox is clutch. He is clutch. Didn't he win clutch player of the year? Oh, goodness. All right, what if the Spurs would have done? Okay, what if the Spurs would have done if they were patient? What would have happened if they were patient? If the Spurs had been patient, if not Fox, someone would have been available this summer. Who? If not Fox, someone would have been available this summer. Who? They will be in a position to draft Harper and have a versatile dog. Okay, first off, how these percentages work and just how things landed, we don't know that. You don't know if, like, you got Fox and it was an adjustment period. You lost quite a few games, with Fox as well. Kind of sloppy, trying to figure things out. Maybe you win those games without Fox. Maybe you're in a different position than you are right now, right? I don't know. We were pretty far off from moving in this draft lottery, though. But possibly, like, the idea that like everything just lines up perfectly is not necessarily true. Maybe it wouldn't have worked out as well. But yeah, but guys, if we would have just waited, maybe we could get a Fox. It's kind of, you guys remember that Family Guy skit? It was gosh, I can't remember exactly what it was for, but like they went to this salesman, Peter and Lois, and he had that box, and he was like, you could take the boat or you could take the mystery box. And then Peter was like, well, Lois, I think we should take the box. And she's like, no, we should take the boat. And he's like, no. I mean, the boat is a boat, but the box can be anything. The box can even be a boat. This is what this article is saying, right? It's like literally saying that. It's like, well, I know you took Fox, but you could have waited and you could have got a Fox. If you were more patient, you could have got a Fox. Ridiculous. You didn't give up anything, guys. Not one Spurs fan thought, man, we gave up way too much for Fox. You gave up too little. The whole NBA felt that way too. Like, there's teams that's pissed off about the Spurs not giving up anything to get a star point guard on their team. Now the Spurs are faced with a needless dilemma. It's like now the Spurs are faced with the best problem in the world. Draft Harper and try to mash together players who will strangle the Spurs offense. What? Why are you talking like this? Or reach for a lesser prospect based purely on fit. You're not going to do that. Yeah, nah. First off, he fits perfectly well, as we demonstrated with the off-ball play that he has. He's a good defender. But number two, yeah, you're not going to do that. We're not in a position to draft based off of fit. Sorry. Unfortunately, you're not going to do that. A draft no when you are picking this high. Okay, well, at least he established that. Yeah. The Spurs have built a teenage core ready to develop together into a juggernaut around a generational superstar. Now they are stuck making the best of what should be an amazing situation, and all because they couldn't be patient and let this team develop. This is a bad take. And all these seems fairly recent. Just a little clickbaity. It's not clickbaity, but are these the only articles he has? Wait. These two are written on the same day. The Spurs' best hope to unlock Wembanyama might mean giving up the number 2 pick. Yeah. Joined May 7th. Oh, wait. 2023. So he has to have more. Oh, he does have more. Let's see. Okay. Anyways, that was horrible. So, as I was saying, a lot of people are hoping that the Spurs trade away Dylan Harper, Nets fans. And apparently the person who wrote this article, but not going to happen. Very silly. Don't like it. Moving on. Ever since we got second pick, I've seen bad takes. You've seen nothing but bad takes because people haven't actually looked into Dylan Harper. When I knew we were getting him, I looked into him. I tell you, he's legit. And number two, the whole idea that he doesn't fit doesn't make any sense. It's not true. It's wrong. And I mean, he even proved that he was wrong in the article to say, he possibly, could be good. He could be good with the ball not in his hands. But what I've seen is he needs the ball in his hands. You just looked at highlights.